Would I move to Germany if I knew what I know now? I want to share with you a story. So I moved to Germany about 10 years ago, and I came here not for many reasons that people go to other countries, look for green pastures, look for better lives. My reason is none of the above. I came here because I just wanted to understand and feel how it is to live in another country. And this has always been my dream since I was very young. I remember when I was still 7, 8, I was already dreaming of living in another country. So it's always been my wish that I go and live somewhere. And somehow I've traveled a few countries, and I found myself being in this country the longest. So here are things that I've noticed and still experience while I'm living here. Number one is loneliness. I come from a very big family. I come from a community-based country where we know each other. We have families, we have bigger families, and there's always people around. You can always talk to people anywhere you go. But it's a very different environment here. I've noticed that the German people are very private people, and they're always time conscious. That means that most of the time people are very busy, and there's very, very little time to connect with people. And this, I've noticed, is a very, very lonely life, not only for me but also for the people who live here, the original people from this country. That's why I think they have a very high number of depressions, because many people live alone. Some don't even have families or have a partner or children, and that's a decision that they made, and it's very normal here. But as life goes on, you realize that these people get very, very lonely, and I can understand what it means to be lonely. And this is a very difficult thing to overcome. So living here in this kind of environment where I'm on my own most of the time is a very challenging experience. Second thing is bureaucracy. Germany is a country of so many paperwork. You have to do paperwork for almost anything that you want to do. And sometimes I get to be limited because anything that I want to do, I have to go through some offices and sign some papers and so many things. For example, one thing that I find very interesting, but also I find it very sad because I'm someone who loves fishing. So I remember when I was back home, I used just to go fishing, or spontaneously with friends would just go fishing and have fun and spend the day there. But here, for you to be able to go fishing, you first have to get a license, and it's a very long process to do it. And because I've done so much paperwork here for me to live here, I think I've forgone this hobby of mine of going for fishing because it's just too much paperwork. And yeah, so Germany is a country where you have to do a lot of paperwork for anything that you want to do. So for people who want to move here, please take notes, because these are things that you need to get ready for. At least I'm making these videos so that this kind of information is available for those who want to come over. Because for me personally, I didn't know much about some of these things. So it was a big surprise to come here and realize that these things are happening and they will continue to happen in this country. Germany is a country of beer, bread. Yeah, there's so many types of bread here in this country. I think it's over 100 types of bread that people eat. Bread is a bigger part of their meals here. That's why you have words like Abendbrot, which means evening bread. So it's very common to eat bread and some meat and some cheese for supper. It's a very common thing here, and I find it very difficult because I'm not a bread eating person. So in the beginning was very difficult because I was not living on my own. I was living with a family. So eating bread every day, cheese, was quite a big challenge. But now I found my own way, and I've managed to find some places in the city that sells African food. So I have access to go and buy African food and cook it for myself, which has saved me a lot of pain in terms of food. And beer, as a non-drinker, it's very difficult to be in celebratory activities, which are many during times like summer, where you have so many events, and beer is at the center. And not drinking beer here is seen as something unusual, because many people drink beer, and for young people it starts already maybe 15, 16. They are already starting to drink beer because of the different cultural events that they do, and these events have beer as part of the celebration. So you have a lot of men, maybe a bigger percentage is men, but also women drink beer, and it's part of the culture. I mean, a bottle of beer or a glass of beer for a meal, especially in the evenings, is very common here. And yeah, it's a very tricky situation, but of course I always have choices. And talking about beer, Germany has a very big problem of alcohol abuse. You have so many people who are addicted to drinking beer, and it's one of the challenges that this country faces. And with drinking beer comes along also cigarettes. These things make people very, very addicted, and it's not cheap, by the way, to be buying cigarettes here. You use a lot of money, and if you are